Okay, 6:30, I call this meeting to order. We're gonna start with the pledge of allegiance. Oh, wait, Jen, do you?
Oh, I'm good, page two. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, President our Commissioner Mark Ciliano, Secretary Jill Notar-Francesco, Commissioner Kristen Bono, Vice Chair Chubb Wilcox, and myself, Renee Shipley. I think we're gonna do open the floor to comments, and I just want to remind everybody, there's a 3-minute limit. We would like you to let us know who you are. We'll start with the live audience and then we'll move to the virtual audience. Are there any comments? Live comments?
I don't really wanna go first, but I get my full 3 minutes.
Jill's got the timer going.
Nice, don't start until I get there. I know, right earlier. Stephen Edwards, 323 Boston Post Road, Old Saybrook, Connecticut. First, I just want to say thank you to the new chief. I appreciate you. And I wanted to go off with the other guy. First of all, honoring Chief Spirit. I don't like bullies. You talked about him when he wasn't here. He couldn't defend himself. I'm talking to you, Chubb. Okay, he has a wife, Heather, and a daughter, Kendall. They're important. I just want to say thank you to Chief Spirit for his services. Nothing, Chubb. I appreciate you too. All right, the violence in this town. You didn't get back to me. Violence and drugs in this town. You got a comment about it? You didn't get back to me. I sent you the videos. Do you approve of the violence? We'll skip it.
We're just not, we don't go back and forth with people,
Well,
but
yes.
I'll let you finish your
My
comment.
wife is down here. I'm not happy with this police department. She's Asian. She's from Laos. She doesn't look white. Her name is not White. It's not even pronounced White. On here, it's White. That means you're a police officer when you weren't here, because it's not your fault. Then you have to put down Asian, not White. My daughter is proud to be half Asian. Okay, she's very upset. She's 15 years old. She's studying law. Okay, her name's Ashlyn Edwards. It's my daughter. She's 100%, 50% Asian. You call my daughter 100% white. My wife came down. I yelled at her, so I'm going to anger management. I yelled at her. That's it. So she went down in person to the police station. I yelled at her. I'm guilty. I yelled at my wife. I'm going to anger management. Okay, been going to anger management for 9 months. On my own accord. I was gonna read it to you, but you'll probably time me out on like 3 minutes. Okay, been going to anger management, and it's the best thing for me. I didn't know I had it. And when I went there, I was embarrassed. Thought it was a disease. And then I said, wow, I got anger. I didn't realize I had it. But now I know I have it. It's like so then I'm working on it. But I'm not a violent person. Okay, all I know is that my grandson is 13 years old. He's on the trial team. 3 strikes, and this police department's out. I had it, but I appreciate you and your new leadership. I don't know what you're gonna do about it, but I'd like to get this fixed because my lawyer said this can be fixed. I know the officer. I'm not gonna throw her under the bus. Face to face, she saw her. My wife went down to complain, and I yelled at her at work. I admit it. So I've been going to anger management. My wife said, I don't want him arrested. Under Walsh's leadership, he arrested me. Okay, for disorderly conduct. I'm good with that. But I'm still going to court tomorrow. I want this case dismissed. Okay, it says it's gonna get dismissed right here from this guy at the family relations. It's still going on in court. But 9 months. You can please talk to the prosecutor, Parakilis. I would greatly appreciate it.
Your time is up, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, and I hope things work out for you at
I
court.
hope that we take care of the violence and the drugs in this town. Do you even care about it?
I would love to be able to take care of that.
Because I know there's a lot of violence in this town and a lot of drugs.
That's why I'm sitting here.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the live audience?
No.
No. Virtual audience, Larry?
Yes, we have one, Carl Van Dossa.
Hey, Carl.
Hi, can you promote me to panelist so I can chime in when I need to?
Oh, Jesus.
Larry's gonna take care of it.
Thank you.
Just tell me when he's
There
done
we
that.
go.
We should be reconnecting. Carl, are you there?
All set. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, fantastic. I'm here.
Okay, before we move on to our business, I just want to take a couple of minutes just to thank one person and introduce somebody else. Commissioner Jessica Cai is in the audience. She was a member of the police commission for 4 years. She was integral in our part of getting town emails, which definitely allowed people easier access to us, increased our transparency. She was part of the revision of the bylaws. She collaborated with the selectmen along with all of us to push the perf study forward. And most importantly, she was here for the hiring of Chief Onofrio. So I just would like to thank Jessica for her time. This is a huge commitment. I know people sit in the audience and they watch and they don't realize how much time we actually spend. We're volunteers, we're not paid for this. And I'd like to tell you that I did appreciate working with you. Next, I wanted to introduce Kristen Bono. She's our new police commissioner. Kristen, if you want to just take a minute and just introduce yourself, let everyone know what you do.
Sure. Hi, I'm Kristen Bono. I am a practicing attorney for the last 20 years. I've worked with multiple police departments over the years, injured police officers and firefighters, heart and hypertension claims. I've defended municipalities against fraudulent claims from police officers. So I feel pretty well-rounded for the position. Hopefully, I can contribute some aspect, maybe with the union, maybe with a conduit between the citizens and the police department, put everybody in a good light and back in good standing and move forward positively, make some positive effects with some good changes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Moving forward, discussion and possible action on the meeting minutes. I entertain a motion to accept the minutes from the regular meeting of October 27th, 2025.
So moved.
Okay, you both so moved it. Does someone want a second?
A second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Carl, that was aye.
Aye from me.
Opposed, there was none. Abstentions? None. Okay, I entertain a motion to accept the minutes of the November 18, 2025 special meeting.
Chair, I did have one correction on that.
Oh.
I wasn't sure if this was the right time to bring it up or if you wanted me to address it on at another point in the meeting. It was the slight change to the organizational chart.
Okay, so let me have them we'll get the motion and then we'll do discussion.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll move that.
Okay, Joel made the motion,
I'll second.
Chubb second, any discussion? Okay.
I got some discussion.
Okay.
I'm gonna vote no on this, special meeting minutes because I was on Zoom. And I was having a lot of trouble with the internet where we were staying, and it looked like I, did an abstention vote. And I didn't, I voted for Joe, but the thing froze at the time, so I just want that on the record for the minutes, because and then the whole next day we lost the internet, so it was just not a fun time. I didn't hear anything you said in the meeting. I was trying to read your list, but I couldn't even see that, so
Yeah.
that's what happened that day, so I just want that on the record.
We'll make a,
You can fix that.
Okay, Chief Onofrio.
so after presenting my proposed draft for the organizational chart change, I did meet with the union, like I said, I was going to. And they brought one point of concern, which I actually, after hearing them out, I tend to agree with them. The position of Master Sergeant, I omitted from the organizational chart. And I'd like to include it under the patrol division. I think I sent everybody a copy. Oh, I'm sorry, I did not. I have. I'm not changing the amount. My proposal today is not to change the amount of sergeants, it's just to label one differently. I didn't realize that the promoted position, Master Sergeant. So I originally had it as 5 sergeants. We still have 5 sergeants. Just one is identified as the master. Is the only change, and I just wanted to make that correction. I didn't want to go astray of the union.
Okay, so for the purpose of the minutes, though, do we want to vote on the minutes as they were presented, or does somebody want to make a motion to amend those?
So I would amend it
Okay,
based on the chief's edits to that organizational chart.
okay, is there a second?
Who seconded it before?
Yeah, but you just amended it.
I question whether that's the proper procedure.
Guys, I'm not sure that we should do it under.
I
I think the minutes are accurate in this regard,
Yes.
and you're coming back to us with a proposed change.
And we put it under personnel
And
matters.
I think we should put that under,
Personnel matter maybe, or,
executive reports or,
okay,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, we get that point, I mean,
You can
This
just
is,
say what you
thank
said.
you for calling this to our attention at the earliest practicable moment.
yeah, I just didn't want to, violate CBA in any way, and I want to make sure we were accurately reflecting what that says
What you,
and what we proposed, so.
So yeah, let's vote on the minutes as they're written.
As presented. Yes.
So we had a first and a second on that.
Yeah.
That was our discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Abstentions? Okay. Next correspondence. I do not have any correspondence. Has anybody else received anything?
no,
Chief, do you have anything?
I just have the two combinations, but I think we have that somewhere else.
The accommodations, we'll do it under personnel matters,
Yep.
if that's fine with you.
But no, I don't have anything.
Okay, discussion and possible action on the 2026 meeting schedule. Did everybody receive that? I sent it to you, if not, I have copies.
yes.
Do we have the budget dates yet?
No, I had told you we're gonna do that in December,
Okay,
and I'll remind everybody later to bring their calendar for the next meeting. The chief has to have the budget complete, and we have to have enough time to have it, but if we should know by the third week of December where we're gonna be with that.
okay. So
It's April 15th, January 15th, that it has to be the selectman's office, so we don't have to be here New Year's Eve working on that. Okay, so the only changes besides the fourth Monday is May, which would be sitting here for Memorial Day. And also, I believe November, I moved back because this always falls on the week of the town meeting. And because we're gonna be shifting December also, I just figured it would probably make those times a little bit better, but I don't know what anybody thinks about those two changes. Well, we're not gonna sit here Memorial Day, so. The November 16th would probably be the only thing that somebody might have a question on.
I move that we, may I make a motion?
Make a motion.
I move that we adopt the 2026 meeting schedule as distributed by the chair.
second,
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, that's our new meeting schedule. Okay, moving on to executive reports. We'll let the chief report on each thing, and when he's done with each category, if anybody has a question, we can ask. Okay,
Sure. I'm gonna start with the operating budget.
Okay.
So I'm on the field services page, the very first page of the expenses. So we're still operating with two vacancies, with sworn staff, 25 officers, we're working with 23 right now. And essentially that's a vacancy of one lieutenant position, and one officer position. The captain position is not in the budget, as it stands right now. So. And then there's three things I wanted to highlight, because essentially what I'm trying to talk about is the regular employees' salaries, the surplus that I'm projecting to have there. So the lieutenant position, it was, Walsh's vacated position, Lieutenant Walsh. He was in that position for 3 months, so that should give us about a surplus in that position of about $87,389. The one officer position has been vacated for the year, and if it stays that way, it's a surplus of $72,100. And the differential pay between my salary and what Chief Spiro was getting is $22,500. So that's the surplus we're gonna be working with in salary, and it's kind of take up some of the overages we have in some of the other accounts that have been, in my opinion, short funded. We are going in the red on some accounts, and you'll see that, and I'll point them out and explain why. But that's where we're gonna find money to balance these accounts. So I'm really everything else looks to be tracking well. I'm tracking the overtime for both field services and support services, and we're doing well. I don't foresee any big problems there. moving on to support services, we do have we have one vacancy of a dispatcher right now, a full-time dispatcher. And we're anticipating another one, December 4th. So that's gonna be two full-time vacancies. We're gonna be okay there. We do have a number of per diem staff. And the per diem employees, when we hire them and we're able to fill the vacancies with the per diem employees, we're paying them straight time as opposed to the time and a half that we would have to do the sworn staff. So that'll be a little bit of savings. I just have to balance that out and make sure we're not, burning out our full-time personnel. Per diem, I think they'll be fine. We have enough to cover. But I want to make sure that two vacancies isn't going to be too burdensome on the staff, especially the dispatch staff. Professional development, we've already spent all of the professional development money in support services, plus $870. That is mainly attributed to the training of our most recent dispatcher. She's a per diem employee that we just got fully certified and on our own. So we kind of ate up all that money training her. So it doesn't leave a lot of money if when I do hire the replacement for the two vacancies to really train the incoming staff. But I do think we'll have a surplus in the entirety to kind of absorb that as well. So moving on to the PD general expenditure page. The one that's kind of glaring at everybody, I'm sure, is that the negative $30,800 under the general expenditures general expenditures purchase professional. And that negative 30,000 is really attributed to us hiring the JKS IT services. It's about $82,000 a year for the IT services that we contracted out. There was a stipend that was being paid to a per diem employee for $30,000. So it kind of balances it out, but obviously, the $80,000 full-time services is much more than what we were paying. I am pretty happy with the service. They're on call, but they have office hours every week. So whatever we need him to do, he's been on top of it. It seems like a good fit. Seems like a good balance of hours and what we're paying them. So I'm pretty pleased with that. And I know it's a higher amount that we're paying, but I think it's worth it. And then the fuel, we're going over on fuel, but I think we prepaid for gasoline, so that's the only reason why you're seeing that. Is that right, Jen?
Yes.
Yeah, so, we'll have to track that and make sure we're tracking that $40,000 of fuel is enough. Right now, it seems to be, but that's why that looks like we went over.
Before you go on, let me go
Yeah.
back to the purchase professional services.
Yep.
I was confused by the three different entries here. We've got $30,850 as expended, zero budgeted.
Yeah,
So how did that happen?
so is the 30,000 here, is that the stipend?
Was this something that,
No, so the $30,000 is what the year to date, so nothing was budgeted because we never planned for it, we didn't know Sergeant Gardner was retiring. So once he announced his retirement, they contracted with JKS Services for the IT support. And the finance director wanted it taken out of that line item, even though we didn't have a budget for it. And since we pulled a PO for the full amount of the JKS services, that's why available balance, it shows a negative of 98. Because when we pull the PO, they basically take the whole amount, even
So
though
is that-
it's a monthly fee that we're paying.
okay, so it's a contract for service over
Correct.
the entire year?
August 2026, I believe.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
But some of that should be offset because we're not paying.
it
Michael Gardner.
should be, but we were also giving him a stipend. So he was getting his salary while he was here, plus a stipend for the time being.
Yeah, the legal fees and the public safety consultant, that's out.
That came out of that too.
Yeah.
So that's why it's negative 90.
So we had, was it daily legal fee, is that what it was?
No, that was, I think, Russ,
Oh, so yeah, so
came out
the
of that
the
one.
difference of the 98 and the is the public safety consulting. The original chief assessment and recruitment, that's where that came out of. So that's between JKS, the 82,000 and then the 16,000.
Mhm.
That's where we're at.
Okay.
Um, the legal fees for Daigle, I think that's coming out of the police admin, the off budget, is that right?
So far it came out of the legal one, but I don't know.
Oh, that's right, we just got that. So that's coming out of legal, so you're gonna see a negative in that one as well,
Right.
that was only budgeted for $7,000,
How much is it?
26,000. So I'll report on that next month, but we're gonna see an overage there, too.
And all of that money is coming out of the budget.
It's coming out of our operating, yeah.
Okay.
We kind of almost knew we were set up for failure on the legal line.
Yeah,
Jill has mentioned it every single year that it should have been increased and it just never is.
yeah, I mean, we're probably gonna try to address some of that in the upcoming budget. It's tough to anticipate problems, but, you know, 7,000 probably doesn't get us through even an IA investigation.
Exactly.
No, and historically, it's been over every year.
Yeah, 7,000 people would get me maybe consulting services, some opinions, some assessments for the policies.
Speaking of IAs, you had mentioned in a conversation that the state police might be available to help with that. How do they charge?
They don't. So they're very good. They don't always accept every case. But that probably would be my preference, especially for somebody with some rank. You know, anybody, a lot of it we can handle, you know, but anything that's very egregious, or potentially could go the criminal route, I would prefer the state police to handle it if they would accept it. You know, obviously they have a huge caseload themselves. But when they do accept their cases, there's no cost to the towns. And they do a very, very thorough, very good job. So definitely an option we have. Off budget account. Let's see.
Does anybody have any questions
Oh,
on?
I'm sorry, yeah.
No, sorry. Does anybody have any questions on any of the operating budget for this year?
Well, I just have one question on field service, and I guess it's field service also. The degree stipends, have they been paid out at this point? So, because that budget is almost wiped out.
Yeah, they're paid out in September. every
Okay,
year.
all right, that's it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
so we won't be spending the rest of that.
Anymore, right?
So that's in excess.
Any other questions, guys? Okay, off budget accounts.
Off budget, and there really wasn't a lot of movement in any of it. Happy to answer any questions, anything sticks out to anybody, but I really didn't have a lot to address besides, the police admin account. Our detective sergeant and detective, were able to go through some of our unclaimed property, a lot of cash in property, and petition the state well, allow people to claim the money, the finders, and anything unclaimed, they return to us. So we're able to add $2,910 to the police admin account that was returned money from the state. So that was all their work and they're doing in their initiative.
I noticed that there's a deposit from the bottle return in the police explorer account. I mean, that's wonderful. Who does that?
Detective Simpson and Patrol Officer Rick Simpson. Yeah.
Awesome.
We used to do it a long time ago and we brought it back and I thought it'd be great.
10 cents a bottle now.
Mhm.
It adds up pretty quick.
690 bottles. That's a big plastic bag.
So I just had one question on the driver's safety fund. There was a deposit of, I guess, car registration fee in October. Isn't it late for that?
We just got another one the other day. So they seem to roll in like throughout the year. Yeah.
You're like paying them,
Yeah.
case is over, but pay them now, I guess, probably just opening their mail.
So the people that are just applying for registration?
It tends to be newer ones, yeah.
Any other questions on off budget accounts?
Chief, I have one thing. I know I was recently at AT&T and I saw that, AT&T has the contract here. Are you aware of the FirstNet, savings for the police officers? It's incredible.
Were you the
We're on
first?
Thursday.
Are you,
Yeah.
you're already doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. I printed it out because it was such a great savings. I couldn't believe how great
Yeah.
it was.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Have to hear it.
Yeah, they've been around for a little bit and for that program. But yeah, definitely cheap.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So it's a good way to get the officers' phones too, so.
Yeah.
Any other questions about budget accounts? On to personnel matters.
Oh, I had a question on the off budget, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There was, what struck me as an anomalous number for community policing. In October, we had 10, and typically it's like 1 or 2.
You mean the activity report?
Oh,
In the activity report. Oh,
Yeah, that's not yet.
okay.
Okay, so all budget accounts, no other questions?
Yeah.
Chuck, that's coming up soon. Then personnel matters.
well, after personnel matters, I'll address that with good activity. So I do have, 2 officers I've issued, letters of recognition for. It's part of our commendation procedure. And Lieutenant Williams recognized both of them. He wrote them up. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's Simpson. So it's 2 officers that really have been doing a really great job, and we wanted to recognize, and this is really the first step of recognizing them. And they both encompass a few different cases. They didn't quite rise to the level of merit award or accommodation, so we did them as letter of recognition just to make sure the officers know they're doing a good job and that I'm recognizing them, and I want to make sure you're aware of the good work that they're doing. They're 2 of many that are doing a good job out there, but these are 2 that kind of stood out to us this month. And we're going to continue this and make sure that they're getting the appropriate recognition and that you all are seeing that in the community as well. I'm on Detective Simpson's, and if I could read it so the public can hear it, if you don't mind. It's addressed to Detective Simpson, and it's a letter of recognition for investigative excellence and dedication to duty. Detective Simpson, it is my privilege to formally commend you for your exceptional dedication to duty, investigative excellence, and unwavering persistence in the performance of your responsibilities as a detective with the Old Saybrook Police Department. Your recent investigations reflect an extraordinary level of professionalism, skill, and commitment to justice. In multiple complex fraud cases, your diligence and attention to detail resulted in the recovery of significant financial losses for victims, as well as identification and apprehension of those responsible. These outcomes demonstrate not only your mastery of an intricate investigative process, but also your steadfast dedication to supporting members of our community who have been victimized. Additionally, your work in a felony theft investigation showcased the use of advanced investigative techniques that led to the positive identification of suspects and the securing of felony extraditable warrants. This case exemplifies your resourcefulness, analytical capability, and determination to pursue offenders across jurisdictional lines. Your handling of a juvenile, and this is a different case, your handling of a juvenile assault investigation further highlights your balanced and compassionate approach to policing. You conducted a thorough and victim-centered investigation while collaborating effectively with the Old Saybrook Board of Education and the Middletown Superior Court. Your efforts ensured that appropriate charges were pursued and that the victim received the support and justice they deserve. Your performance in these cases is representative of the highest standards of our profession and reflects great credit upon yourself and the Old Saybrook Police Department. Your commitment to excellence strengthens our agency and enhances the safety and well-being of the community we serve. It is with sincere appreciation that I present you with this letter of recognition. Thank you for your outstanding service and continued dedication. And this will be presented to the detective tomorrow. May I have another one, if I may? This is for Officer Egan. Again, a letter of recognition, exemplary service. Officer Egan, I am pleased to formally recognize your exemplary service, dedication to duty, and outstanding initiative while performing your responsibility as a patrol officer of the Old Saybrook Police Department. Your recent actions demonstrated exceptional professionalism and sound judgment, particularly in your application of proper tactics during a use of force incident and in preventing an impaired operator from fleeing the scene. Your decisive response directly prevented a potentially dangerous situation from escalating and ensured that intoxicated drivers did not pose a significant hazard to the motoring public. Your conduct reflects great credit upon yourself and the Old Saybrook Police Department. Your commitment to public safety, adherence to training, and consistent display of officer safety principles embodies the highest standards of our profession. It is with sincere appreciation that I present you with this letter of recognition. Thank you for your continued dedication and exemplary performance. So one of the incidents that I'm referring to here, Officer Egan and a couple other officers came upon on Halloween night, a motorist passed out at the wheel at a traffic light. As they approached, they realized that the motorist was sleeping, and his car was in drive. Officer Egan, thinking of the public safety and the motoring public and the pedestrians and trick-or-treaters, knows his cruiser up to the front of the motorist, his car. And as the officers approached the car, the motorist realized and came to and hit the gas pedal and tried taking off and went into their cruiser, which is a great tactic to prevent not only them fleeing, but them hitting somebody else or, going off the road or causing damage to anybody or hurting anybody. So I was really proud to read that. I wasn't there, but I read the report. I got reports the next day. And that was one of a few things that he was involved in, but I just thought it needed to be recognized.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna try to make that a regular thing as when they're appropriate. And I want you all to see them. So.
Nice.
So,
These are from personnel files.
yeah, yes, they'll both go in their personnel files. They'll be presented to both officers tomorrow. I'm gonna present them with Detective Sergeant Williams, who wrote them up, and his write-up is in the back of yours as well, if you want to see it. Professional development is our next thing, unless anybody has any questions. Lieutenant, would you like to give a professional development? You can talk about the training we did as well. Yep. So this month, it was an expensive month for training, but it was a really worthwhile month. This month, I'm referring to, Blue Line Farms, that was October or was it November?
No, the beginning of November.
Yeah, beginning of November. So Blue Line Farms brings in looks like a semi, so it's a trailer, and it's a portable range is what it is. But it allows our officers to do firearms training, but in a shoot, don't shoot scenario. So they're shooting at essentially a screen where the characters in the screen are going for a weapon or not going for a weapon, or just puts you in a scenario where it's realistic and it kind of makes you go through the motions of every scenario. And it's the most realistic training we could probably offer them. And we did it this past month. We do it once a year. I'm going to continue. I haven't seen any other agency do it. But I was really pleased to see that we're doing it and that we're going to continue to do it. And it's going to be something that is part of our training repertoire here. And I think it's very important.
A couple of years ago, Karma sponsored this. Are they still doing that or?
No, we put the bill. It was kind of expensive. So it's something they could look into if that's the case. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
The only one I know that Milford Police Academy has, it's not portable. It's not live fire either. They do it in their police academy, and they use like a semi-initial round, which is like a fake round. So it's not as realistic as this, but this was great. So Lieutenant Millardo and Detective Sergeant Williams both also attended the FBI Lead a Command Institute Leadership class this month. Detective Sergeant Williams completed his trilogy, which means he completed all 3 phases of the FBI LEADA course. So he's completed that in its entirety, and Lieutenant Millardo was scheduled to do, what are you doing? You completing it next month?
Next month, yeah.
So she'll have it completed. It's definitely high level training. We're lucky to get them both in and have them both succeed there. We had 2 officers just attend and return from the NUA 3A training course. It's an investigative course. The NUA is the New England Narcotics Association. They do a 3-day training course, just happened last week. And it's really focused on investigations. So Detective Simpson and Officer Solano both attended, completed the course. It was really high level training. I'm glad we were able to get them in. Then currently, just for events, not as professional update, but I just want to give you an idea. We have the Give the Cops a Bird event going on right now, where also we're in front of Stop and Shop. I know Mark was there. This weekend, Saturday and Sunday, collecting food, turkeys, money, and today and tomorrow we're giving out those food items and whatever we purchased with the money, the proceeds. We had it was over 100 turkeys given out today, right? And we're at yeah, I think we took in almost 600 turkeys today. We gave out 100. Hopefully, we have a little more tomorrow that we can give out. But it was really nice to see how the officers obviously are doing it as a community service hours. So it doesn't really cost us anything, and it's just great to give back to the community. So that's all for professional update. I can go on to the activity report unless anybody has any questions.
I did.
Yeah, please.
It was the community policing. In October, there were 10, when usually there have been 1 or 2.
I think that was Halloween. So I think we were pulling community policing numbers for Halloween. We put quite a few officers out in different neighborhoods. I went out just trying to engage, and I think we were pulling numbers then. Pulling case numbers just for the engagement piece.
Great, thank you.
Yep. So I'm not going to go through the entire account. I will give you some updates as I see some outliers. And then if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to address any thing that concerns you or any questions. We do have an increase in extra duty this week and next week. You see a lot of officers out on Route 1. There's 2 projects going on right now, and there's laden paving. I know it's causing some disruption for some of our businesses, and we're trying to mitigate that as best we can. Try to get the officers out there and getting the traffic flowing as best as they can. We have been able to successfully hire all the jobs, but we're getting to a point where we had to combine the jobs because they're in the same area and prevent us from ordering officers off duty to work these jobs, which I don't want to do. I do want to address that in the future and bring some proposals to this commission and the union, which I also talked to them about, for some mutual aid agreements with other agencies around us, so they can take our overflow extra duty assignments and traffic assignments, and then vice versa. It worked out well in Hamden. We did it with North Haven, and whenever we had jobs we couldn't fill, they would come in and work in Hamden, and vice versa. So I want to take the temperature with the union and make sure it's something that they have an appetite for. I think it's definitely be useful in this community to make sure those jobs are getting filled when they're needed, and also we're not burning our rosters by ordering them to work these jobs.
I did have a question about the flagging on Route 1 there. Is there a protocol that they're supposed to follow about how many cars go through before they stop in one direction and let the other direction through?
It's not like a vehicle count. It's supposed to be reasonable. You give it a minute or something and you swap it to the other side. Sometimes it's dictated by some turns. So if you have a lane merging at that point, you might let one side go a little longer just to clear it out, prevent any obstructions. But it's really discretion of the officers, what seems to flow best. Sometimes the early onset of these jobs, especially early morning hours, it could take us a half hour or so to kind of figure out what the right pattern is, the right flow. It's kind of trial by error until we have the cars flowing. Sometimes it's not easy to kind of figure out, but it's really the officer's discretion. They should be, maintaining the traffic flow. They should be in tune, paying attention, and directing the traffic.
I've been stuck there several times, and it's hard for the poor cops because you can't see what's over the hump.
Yeah.
You got a light at this direction that is not being controlled in response to the flow of traffic.
Right.
And so I know it's very difficult, but I was just remembering back many years ago when I did road construction work in college. And one of the desired jobs was being a flagger because you weren't working with the asphalt at 200 degrees.
Right.
And what we used to do was, try to let like 30 cars go through one way and then 30 cars go through the other way so that people didn't feel oh my God, when am I gonna get my chance?
Right. Yeah, and that traffic like dictates a lot of what you can let through and when, and so you don't back up at the intersection. So there's a lot of variables, every job's different, and, yeah, I mean, you try to be reasonable, you don't want people, you know, southbound traffic waiting 15 minutes where, northbound traffic is going every 30 seconds. But it's, it's an art, not everybody's very good at it, to be honest, but, once you get down, it usually flows pretty well for the rest of the day once you get a pattern.
Could we give these guys radios with a different frequency? That they could use the radio, talk to each other, say, hey, I'm gonna stop it now.
You could, I don't, yeah, I mean, if they're that far away, would they can go to a different channel?
It was pretty bad.
So it's tough to, I mean, with your radio, if emergency comes in, they start flicking channels and changing the radio to a different, dispatch can always monitor it, but your surrounding officers, your backup units wouldn't hear that channel in per se, so I wouldn't, in the regular course of work, I wouldn't have them working on a different radio channel.
Well, cause the ones the officer that was by Dairy Queen, he has the light right there. So he was letting people through and then the light was turning red on him and the poor guy was backed up all the way to the pub. I felt bad for him.
Yeah, so that was what I was talking when we were trying to merge the jobs together to try to have them all work together, even though it was two different vendors hiring. So it did stretch out quite a bit, and I think for the next week it's going to be that way. But one of those jobs is coming to a close soon, so it should work itself out by Friday.
I think residents also have to learn too that go a different way.
Yeah,
Because we got stuff going and on the way back, we said we were gonna go on the highway to get back home again.
yeah. Well, I was doing the same thing, so that's the way I go to work, and I was changing my pattern. Where I feel bad for is the businesses that were impacting their, the business, because you can't get traffic in one way or the other way, or people are avoiding the area because of it. So I want to get this job done, open everything up. So, that was the only thing on the first page. So the activity, the motor vehicle activity has been fantastic, and our officers, it really has been great. They're stopping a lot of cars. They're being fair and balanced in their approach. I've noticed they're not just giving everybody infractions, but they're definitely taking the opportunity to kind of have an education piece and enlighten the public on certain things. They're enforcing when they have to and when it makes sense. And been out there, they've been arresting a lot of DUI, a lot of drunk drivers. We had 6 arrests last week by different officers, not just, I heard it, I'm like, oh, one officer's really hungry. And it was 6 different officers that all made DUI arrests, which is really, my hat's off to them. They're keeping us safe for the holidays. It's a good time to really get out and start doing that stuff. So it's working. The stats, I know last month I said I was going to update these so it's a little more reflective of car break-ins. We haven't got around with next gen yet to kind of reprogram the coding of these. So you don't see that yet, but we are working on it. We're going to press the motor vehicle. So I'm on the last page, which is really our crime stats from January 1st to November 18th. Just some things that are still standing out to me. I'm still not happy with the amount of frauds we're getting. We're going to put a education campaign together for the elderly, especially for some of the scams. Consumer Protection is going to partner with us, and we're going to bring a couple classes to town, just educational pieces, just to kind of let everybody know what frauds are out there and kind of their tricks of the trade, if you will. So I want to get ahead of that. I don't like to see 116 frauds for the year. We have been very successful in a lot of these investigations. We have been able to get some of the monetary losses back.
As a member of the police commission, we get weekly headlines about the newest scam that's going on. Maybe a broader distribution of that would be appropriate.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. So there's a lot of different ones going on, and they're, once we're on top of one, they kind of revisit it and change it. But consumer protection is experiencing a lot with like contractor frauds or deposits and things like that. So they wanted to bring their piece. I'm also gonna partner with the Secret Service because they do a little more of the cyber Bitcoin type stuff. So there's a lot of resources we could bring and just kind of baseline explain, what information not to be giving out there. I don't know, we gotta dive too deep into the investigations or the sophistication of some of these fraudsters, but I think we definitely want to make the public aware of what they shouldn't be giving out and how to confirm whether it's a legit person or not. But it's a lot of organized crime is trending that way towards fraud. It's a lot less of the historical, violent crime, robberies, and burglaries, and a lot of the financial gains and criminal activity is now through fraud. So, I don't see it slowing down, the attempts at least.
It's a big world.
Yeah, right. And then, if you see on line 126, you see a robbery in October. What that is, it was a shoplifter at Walmart that fought loss prevention or officers in the parking lot. So he escalated his charges to a robbery because he was using violence in the commission of a larceny. And that's part of what Officer Egan was commended for, as one of those incidents. So we took him into custody. There was some use of force there and some damage to property. But they also did a great job and handled themselves appropriately and made an arrest. The other thing that, it's not a shock, but I just want to start pointing it out. Larcenies are on a rise. Obviously, it's the holiday season that's kind of anticipated. The store thefts definitely increase November, December. But we also had that little rash of car break-ins. So we had that, and we're and the boat thefts. I know that were kind of caught some public attention. We are making some progress in those cases, and hopefully we resolve those soon. And I think especially the juvenile car theft and the car break-in ones. I think if us and our partnering the law enforcement agencies make an arrest on that group, it'll put an end to it for a little while, and hopefully it's doesn't.
Is that where porch bandits also show up, larceny?
Yeah, it would be larceny. But those are really the crime stats that I wanted to really address. Maybe any questions, I'd be happy to.
I don't have a question, but I just have a comment. I know we've mentioned this before. A lot of like the fraud things, that definitely is education, because people pick up the phone and somebody says, oh, you want a vacation? We just need your credit card. And a lot of people just don't really put that together. Like, if I want it, then why do I have to give you my credit card? Or, oh, you owe a bill, go get these money cards. The estuary would be a good place to start, even some stuff at the library, maybe. Not to say that it's just older people, because I know a lot of younger people that get taken in. But that's huge. And if you get your packages thrown off your porch, wrap up garbage and leave it in there. Put it in an Amazon box. No, it's crazy. It really is. And these people are like Walmart. People are very brazen. I know people that work there. People will walk in and fill up a carriage and just walk right out the door. They just figure nobody's gonna pursue them. And I'll be honest, I don't know if I would.
You mind if I share?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Fun day.
So part of the proceeds from the food drive, a lot of people give us cash, and with the cash we go and buy things at the grocery store or Walmart. Kind of where we say if we need more beans or stuffing or whatever, just try to balance the shelves out so everybody has a balanced meal. And so Stephanie was there doing that today, and as she's there, somebody starts shoplifting with her and also Solano in one aisle next to her.
In uniform?
I was wearing this,
Okay.
so I guess I was kind of
She had to make the apprehension in the middle of the store while she was shopping.
$500 worth of cards.
Wow.
And then crack pipes and fentanyl, fun stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
So 'tis the season.
Thank
It's all over
you.
the city.
Good job.
Yeah. Is that all I have? What is the holiday program report?
I just didn't know, you already reported on the turkey drive. If you want to report on the toy drive coming up,
Yeah,
or torchlight or any of that stuff.
so the toy drive, it's gonna be held at Walmart on Black Friday and Saturday 29th, 8 to 4 p.m. Be outside of Walmart. We're taking donations of any toys for youth and family. And then tomorrow is our last day of the food distribution.
Okay.
Giving out and that's 2 to 6 tomorrow at police headquarters for anybody in need.
So are you guys distributing the toys this year? Because when I talked to Heather at Youth and Family, she said stuff was gonna be at the firehouse.
I think we're bringing them to youth and family. So there was a
Okay.
little bit of confusion with the drop off locations. If
Okay,
anybody drops them off at police headquarters, we're obviously clearly not turning them away.
Okay.
We'd be happy to transport the toys over to there.
okay,
But I think that the messaging went out a little confusing this year.
okay.
So it's Walmart, Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, if anybody wants to donate to us, we'll have officers out there, Friday and Saturday, 8 to 4 p.m.
This Friday and Saturday?
28th, 29th, sorry.
Oh, okay.
I got a question about the Torchlight Parade.
Yeah.
Could you explain what's gonna happen with the parking this year? Because I think this is gonna be new. And, I think we talked about it here, earlier.
So-
Hear about it.
We had some complaints from some of our business owners, that some of our residents are parking their cars there all day, leaving their cars and just pretty much taking up all the spaces on Main Street for the entire day, preventing anybody from parking and using their businesses. So what we're gonna do this year, we're gonna put up no parking signs, it's gonna say retail parking only until 3 p.m. After 3 p.m., they're welcome to park their cars there and participate in the parade in any way they seem fit. It's just, we wanna prevent the entire Main Street being, taken up and preventing our businesses from having, clients. So we're gonna try that, and we're gonna put some public safety, some, social media messaging out about it. Being courteous to our businesses and, trying to help them out a little bit, so there's not an impact in their business.
Thank you.
It'll be a major change for people, but it's needed. If I owned a small business on Main Street, I'd be out there policing it myself. It's 2 weeks before Christmas. These business owners, they depend on the foot traffic. They depend on people going there.
Right, to shut them down for a whole day.
Exactly. It starts on Friday. If you're here like late Friday night, they're already backed in. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So we're trying to help out,
Yeah, no, I think that's great. Before we move on from your report, so do you want to reiterate anything over the master sergeant thing?
Oh, yeah,
Or
I
did
think
everyone
bring that
understand
back up. So my initial draft proposal for the reorganization of the oil charge, I tried to simplify it, and what I did was put 5 sergeants under the patrol division. And talking to the union and then looking at the CBA, they're right. We do have one position that is identified as a master sergeant, and it would have to be negotiated out, which it hasn't been. So, it is one of the 5, but I think in good faith, I want to just identify in the org chart that it does exist, and that it is in the patrol division. It didn't add any of the supervisors, it just where it identified one as the master. That was really the only change, but I think that it was necessary.
So the master sergeant could be in the middle or could be at the bottom.
Yeah, he's one of the patrol sergeants, and he does have a rank that's above sergeant, in his promoted position, so it deserves to be identified. So that's what I did. We put him just above the 4 patrol sergeants. So I changed the 4 patrol sergeants from 5 to 4 and just put the one master sergeant above.
Does anybody have any questions on that? Okay. That's everything you have, right, chief?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
okay. I have.
All right, the next items, I had sent out an email to the police commission asking if anybody had anything they want to put on the agenda. These are just a couple of things. We're not doing a major discussion. I just kind of want to tell people where we're headed. Commissioner Prass, who's not here this evening, is been very concerned over a donation policy. I reached out to the selectman. He said the town does not have their own donation policy. He was going to check with CCM. One of Jackie's biggest concerns is she wants to make sure that people who are donating are being recognized. So I have information I gave to the police commission. We're going to discuss that at a later date. If anybody has any questions, they can ask, but this is coming up again. It's just not a priority right now, but I just wanted to touch on that.
We can put it in correspondence. I could just speak to it and put it in correspondence as we get donations, if that's.
Okay, And that's kind of what it goes into the next item. The next item on the agenda is communication and correspondence. Again, Commissioner Press, and she's not the only one, she's just the one who sent it to me. Just concerned with how we handle correspondences, how things are being taken care of, if everybody's being responded to. If somebody has a complaint, is it going through the proper channels? So she is considering, she wants us to consider maybe forming a committee that would handle some of this stuff. I don't imagine we're gonna have a lot of complaints. But if we do, I just want to make sure that they're handled properly, hoping they'll be able to be handled at the chief's level before things have to come to us. And I don't have any doubt that will happen. So that again is something for the future. And when it comes time for comments from the commissioners, I'll explain all of what I'm thinking there. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, next item is discussion possible action. Sorry. Regarding the recruitment and selection process for the captain position. So I know that Russ from PSC has submitted a proposal to us. Before we get Russ on the phone, I didn't know if anybody had any questions or comments, so we don't have him going through every single thing. I just had a couple of like clerical things.
I had a question about, the background check. So based on this proposal, it said the background check, I can't determine whether it's included in the proposal or not.
No, I think it's an additional fee.
Okay, so, because it did say upon request.
Yeah, we have to request
So-
it and there was additional fee. It wasn't crazy expensive. I actually was, when I paid the bill, I was kind of surprised how cheap it was. Was it 2,500?
2,500.
Yeah, it was not bad.
Okay, I didn't realize that it was an extra.
He did say he cut us a break because we're a repeat customer, so.
I think it was usually 3.
Well, I think on the overall recruitment and assessment, I think it was a little less than the last round, which is essentially we're duplicating it.
So would you guys like me to get Russ on the phone so that we can, if anybody has questions? I just had things like where in one part of it, it says the chief process, which should be switched over to the captain. That's on page 7, phase 1, number 4. There's something, I think it's phase 5. I don't even know if we would want that. It's introducing the candidates to the public, which we really don't want to do that because if
No, I
you're,
think that's gotta,
Yeah, that's
that's
not,
one thing I was gonna talk about tonight.
okay, just because if they're looking for a job and maybe their current department doesn't know it. That would be great. We don't have a regular phone here, right? Should I get Russ on this? Hold on, I'm firing at my iPhone 7. It's gonna take a minute. I mean, looking at this, do most of you guys agree with a lot of what's in here?
It is cost.
Okay. I'm hanging out in Florida.
I agree with most everything in here. It's very similar to when we did this
With our other
before.
process.
Yes, the
And-
only thing is they do need to update the dates and, you know, who this is directed to. It seems to me that he put this together pretty quickly
Might have rushed him.
and maybe.
So he was out of state and I wanted to be able to present it tonight.
You know, this isn't.
So he has to clean that stuff up.
Yeah, it's easily done.
Much of it looked familiar.
Right, that's why I assume. And we're not changing, I mean, the assessment, the recruitment and the assessment center, they were the writing sample, I think it's all duplicating what it's already done and it was a good process, so I was pleased with it. I thought-
Hey Russ, it's Renee from the Old Saybrook Police Commission.
Renee, how are you?
Good, I have you on speakerphone. We're at the point in our meeting, we're discussing your proposal. And we have a few questions and comments. Okay, I can pass the phone around. You guys prefer to do it that way? Just be careful with that dinosaur.
Jill,
I just had one thing. Some of the dates in here obviously have to be changed to make it more reflective of the current position that we're seeking. And also the person to whom it's addressed. So, because Renee Shippey is now chair. So those were,
That's easy enough.
yeah, So those were the kinds of things, if you just go through this to update it, to be more consistent with current. And also just background check is apparently not included in this proposal.
I can put that in the same thing we had in, for the chief. That's easy enough to put in there too.
Okay, all right, that would be great. That's all I have.
Wait, Jill, do you mean like an additional cost?
Well, yeah, with an additional cost associated.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll put the optional background investigation with the cost involved, sure. Not a
Okay,
problem.
all right, thank you. You're
You're
smart.
very welcome.
Hey Russ, this is Mark, how are you?
How you doing?
Good, hey, that's section 5. We talked about that as a group, and I think we'd like to take that out of the contract.
And I don't have it in front of me, Mark, for which section you're referring to.
Phase 5, Mark.
What then?
It's phase 5 and it has to do with the meet
Phase
and greet.
5 where they meet with the public,
Okay, I can take that out.
that'd be great. Okay, I'm gonna pass the phone back down to Renee. Have a nice Thanksgiving.
You, Mark.
Kristen, do you have any questions?
I know.
Chubb?
No.
Okay. The only other thing, Russ, I believe it's on page 7, it's, says phase 1, number 4, and it shows for the position of chief instead of captain.
Change that.
Okay. Does anybody?
Yeah, phase 1, yep, not a problem. Renee, I'll go through that and I will update that tomorrow morning and push it back out to yourself or the chief. I don't,
Okay.
Whoever you want it to go to. I'll
Yeah.
take care of all that tomorrow morning.
Okay, perfect. Chief, do you have any questions for us?
No,
Okay, the chief doesn't have any questions either. Okay, we
I'll
don't,
turn that around and get it back to you tomorrow morning.
okay, we don't need any other.
Does Colin have any questions?
Carl, do you have any questions?
No, I'm all set. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ross.
All right, Renee.
Have a good one. Bye. Okay, so, I don't know if this is gonna be the right thing to do. I don't know if we should make a motion until we have the, amended paperwork. If we should take action on this. I mean, I'd like to get moving on it.
I think we should have the motion tonight.
Do you think?
In accordance with the changes
With
as
the changes,
discussed at the
okay.
meeting.
yeah, I
Okay,
don't think the price is gonna change any. The only additional price would be the background, which I think we can vote on.
and I did talk to the selectman about how this was gonna be paid for, and he said we're gonna take it out of where we took it out of last time. But I do have an email as proof that he said if we have to move it from off budget at the end of the year, we can, so
Renee,
we have that.
Renee, I got a question for you.
Mhm.
This committee that we're gonna do the search committee, it's gonna be the commission again.
Yes.
And we have to make a motion that we want the chief to be a part of the search process with us.
Well, can we do this first?
Well, okay, I'm just asking.
Yeah, we have to figure out how we're handling the search committee, but
Right.
right now for the.
I apologize.
No, you're fine. I just want to keep things in order. I entertain a motion to accept Russ's proposal from PSC with the amendments that we just spoke to Russ about.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay,
Carl says aye.
Carl's aye also. Okay, yeah, no, we haven't, it's not on the agenda, but my assumption was gonna be that we were gonna handle this exactly like we did last time with the search committee. That would be the police commission, and we can decide to put who we want.
And include the first selectman.
And we can include the first selectman if he wants to be.
And I would also
Like have
include
the
the sheriff. include
Yes.
the Chief and officer.
So I don't have it as an action item, but we can do that very easily in December because Russ is probably still gonna be working on getting this back to us, and he's still gonna have 30 days to put things out for resumes. Or I can amend the agenda, we can add
We
it.
could have a special meeting.
Okay,
We have to amend the agenda at the beginning of the meeting.
okay, perfect. I'm good with special meetings.
Yeah.
When do we start the recruitment, and when do we allow him to start the recruitment? Do we have a date, and do we have a job description that were to be approved? And requirements, qualifications?
I think once he gets this new contract and we say okay to that, then we'll meet with him and last time we met with him, he came, Russ was actually here in the room and we went through the job description.
Okay, so that's part of the phase with him?
Yeah,
Yes,
Okay,
and I'd like to get that sooner than later.
because that also goes out with the job announcement, so that. people-
Right.
And we have a salary range to put out.
okay.
We have a very clear idea, but
He did get us a job description ahead of time and then he came here and we met with him and we kind of fine tuned it to what we thought it should be.
Okay.
Not a ton of changes, but
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if something I had to work on or if it was something we did, so that's good.
Well, you gave us a job description.
Yeah, I did a draft of, what I thought what would look like. And we could work all that, we can combine it with Russ's.
Right,
see
exactly.
what Russ has.
It's what it seems to make sense.
And you'll be part of
Yeah.
that because this is the person that you have to work with. We don't have to work with this person day in and day out. So we want it to be what's gonna be right for you. Okay, any other discussion on this? So as soon as we hear back from Russ, whether he sends it to me or to the chief, we'll get it to you guys right away. Back to comments from the public, again, 3 minutes. We'll start with the live audience. That's Tom.
Tom Stevenson, Old Saybrook. I'd like to talk about officer safety and public safety. And in fact, I see everybody's has a cell phone or talking about it. And when I was on the police department years ago, the primary means of communications was the radio, whether they have a microphone and talk about a radio. But today out there, specifically on Route 1, while we're doing construction, I see the officers, mature and young officers, on their cell phone. They're back to the traffic. When in fact, whether the dispatchers are saying, go to your cell phone, or the primary means of communication is still the radio, not the cell phone. So when they take their eyes off the traffic, what's coming at them, and go like this, they're minimizing their ability to protect themselves and or the public where the cars are going back and forth. So that's my comment about public safety and officer safety. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Any other comments in the live audience? Larry, anyone in the virtual audience?
There are no hands raised.
Okay. Sorry, I got accused. All right, comments from the chief of police.
Actually, this. Commissioner Kellis?
Have you talked enough? Is it, are you done?
I was gonna thank Commissioner.
Oh,
I appreciate her support and all she's done, and she just recently helped me out and attended a traffic safety meeting that we had last week. She did the bike ride at a full Saybrook Point there.
yes.
And she's been a pleasure to work with. I was hoping to address her, but I'll make sure that I let her know the remarks. But that was all.
That was a very interesting presentation. The red light camera thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was good.
yeah, it's definitely different. I mean, there's pros and cons. It was good, but she had a lot of good feedback and she definitely helped in the process.
Okay, comments from commissioners. Park, I'll start with you if you're fine
I'm all
with that.
set. Well, first of all, just thank all the police officers for taking the time out of their schedule to donate their time to do the turkey driving. They did a great job.
Thank you, and thank you for your donation.
Jill?
I really enjoyed that seminar also. I think it really turned my head completely around from where I started, not being a fan to having a really good understanding of what that whole process is about with, the speed cameras, red light cameras, all of that. I found the speakers very interesting, particularly the one from Washington, because it's the similar size to ours and similar department. And it was just fascinating. It was a very, very good seminar.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of communities around us are getting on board. We definitely think we have to do our research, but the interesting option to address the issue.
Yes.
Kristen?
All set.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'm just flabbergasted at the turkey drive.
Me too, actually.
I just can't get over the turnout, and you guys did a great job. Really great.
Yeah,
Pleased to hear the turnout. It's unbelievable.
both of them have been out there for a few
Yeah.
days. Jen was freezing, she had her hat on,
Yeah.
gloves.
I'm sure it wasn't easy.
Definitely a lot of work, and I'm proud to see it myself.
Yeah.
So it was a much bigger endeavor than
Yeah.
I anticipated.
Yeah.
It's great to see it, my hats off to all them.
Yeah. Awesome work.
Chubb?
I just wanted to echo the thought that presentation on enhanced traffic safety devices was, I think, the best educational experience I've had in many years. The presenters were practical. They were thorough. They were candid. They gave the ups and the downs. And the real takeaway is it works.
It does, yeah.
So that was very encouraging.
I think I'm gonna invite that lieutenant from Middletown.
I like him.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. So we'll invite him over and, pick his brain a little bit more and, maybe we can meet and kind of see what the appetite might be for that and, before I start running with it. But we need to figure out next steps for that program in Old Saybrook, if it's something we want to do.
I think definitely like a community awareness thing, because you really need the buy-in of changing or adding the ordinance to the town. It is about community safety when it all boils down to it. I mean, we've all driven on Main Street and see how people drive.
It's our number one complaint in town.
It is.
It is, it's crazy. You could make it 5 miles an hour and they'd still be doing 50.
Yeah,
They come up Main Street because they have to be to work in New London at 8 o'clock and it's like 7:45. Something's gotta give with some of these people. My comments, again, thank you very much.
Carl.
Oh, Carl, sorry.
That's okay. I just wanted to say that I had a chance to observe that live fire trailer, the training facility, and it's absolutely amazing. And I hope we keep that. It was just incredible, the scenarios that the officers were put into. I don't know. It amazes me what good work you guys do and how split-second decisions can mean life or death.
Yeah.
And it's pretty neat that it's live fire because it really makes a difference.
right, it does. And thank you for that. And I'm 100% gonna be including it in this coming budget. So it's gonna be something we're gonna continue.
Awesome. And the turkey drive's always great. So where else can you give the cops the bird? Get away with it.
Thank you, Carl.
Rich showed up.
Thank you.
I just want to thank everybody too for the turkey drive. I stopped by late yesterday afternoon and it was cold out there. And I know Saturday morning was probably absolutely miserable. So I do appreciate everybody who does that and who's still working at it, distributing everything. I just want to echo Carl's thing. Back in the day at the old police department, we had a citizen police academy and you could do the shoot, don't shoot video in the basement. We had like a small firing thing. And we actually had a gun. Like that was the first time I ever shot a gun. And my scenario was a guy comes around the corner and he's a flasher. So, I mean, you don't know that somebody's not reaching in their pocket and grabbing something. It was very interesting and it is a split-second decision. So anyone who thinks that's an easy decision, it definitely is not. And I do hope that we can continue doing that. And lastly, I just want to explain to everybody, I don't know that my style is going to be the same as Chubb's or any other chair that we've had, but I'm going to work through it as best as I can. The point of my donation and my communication thing being brought forward is I want to develop some kind of an action plan for the police commission, so that we have dates and timelines of everything that we want to accomplish. Right now, I think our two biggest things is the budget. We have to, allow the chief to get the budget done, present it to us. We get it through to the Board of Selectmen, Board of Finance, and kind of almost at the same time is the second in command. I do have a long list of other things that we will discuss, but that's where I'm going with some of this stuff. I just want to get some stuff introduced, but right now the budget and the second in command. Please bring your calendars because next meeting we'll be able to figure out when our budget meetings will be. And happy Thanksgiving. That's all I got.
Thank you.
I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Attention? Happy Thanksgiving, Carl.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Oh, have a fun time down there. Stay safe.
Got to meet my new grandson. He's a cute little guy.
I can cry out of Dennis's hand.
All 9 pounds of him.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
okay.
happened, that is the beginning.
Yeah.
Which was universal.